Well, wrapping up, we've made it to the end of the customer journey digital touchpoint checklist with questions. I know it's a mouthful. It was also a lot of discussion and a lot of hours going through all these different checkpoints. What I can tell you fundamentally is if you stuck with me from lesson to lesson to the end, you realize that all of these customer checkpoints all work together. There's all these different elements that go into building a customer journey for people in ecom, and we learned that they all work from point A to point B. They start in the ads, they work through our creative, they hit our website, they hit our pop ups, they hit our offers, they hit our landing pages, our product pages, our website, our organic channels, our emails, and even down to what's available and how we're portraying that, what's available around the product in order to do social proof around that, and price checklists so that we know that we have different factors that we can pull on in order to practice best unit economics. Throwing this all together and some closing thoughts on this. Um, I've been doing this stuff for a long time, and concretely today, if you take this checklist and you go look at your own website or a client's website or anything else, you're going to find gaps. There is no one that is perfect in all of this stuff across all of their pages, guaranteed 100%. Some companies are going to have bigger gaps than other companies. Some gaps are not going to matter as much as other gaps, but the consistency is what ends up paying off specifically in this day and age. When we look at a page on Amazon, there is so much detail that goes into the sales process and everything else that's included, and most of the time we just do not equate that same level of care and or skill to our individual D2C websites. When I look at the idea of all these touch points working together, I'm reminded that data is kind of what helps guide our decisions, and that having a fundamental position of data capture, specifically in what we push, which is be assign up the highest point of intent, is always helpful in helping us prioritize where and how to build out customer journeys across the entire spectrum. When we started with Krakatoa, nowhere more than 3 years ago, building it, it was at 10,000 revenue per year. We're now over 180,000 per month, and we're continuing to build on these concepts of what the customer journey is and integrating data into our plans and our plays in order to build a better customer experience. We're not 100% there yet. I even pointed stuff out in these lessons where there's some gaps that we still have to finish and fill. These docs exist to help us breach those gaps and get us to the point of being as good as possible. Right now, when we're fully in stock, we convert at right around a little over 8%, 8.5%. With a couple of tweaks and a couple more things, some comparison contextual stuff, our goal is to get it up to 10% in terms of a conversion rate. This started from a 1.7% conversion rate. So, having said that, we've escalated it from 1.7 to 8.5 over 3 years. This work is ongoing and progressive. You're not going to wake up tomorrow and say, oh, I've got my checklist. I'm going to go apply all of this all at once. You'll go nuts. It'll take too much time. It'll be very, very difficult to do. Top agencies in the entire world cannot do all of this stuff. They can't deliver on it. It's too many hours. What I'm appealing to everyone that's watching this right now, and you guys that are watching right now, is that all of this is doable, but it's iterative. We do small adjustments over time in order to create a better experience. Small adjustments over time impact things greatly. A 1% conversion rate with an increase of traffic equals more sales, equals more revenue, equals more profit. We work together across all of these different touch points, systematically asking the appropriate questions of ourselves as marketers so that we can better coordinate and build better strategies that lead to results. None of this is overnight. There are no growth hacks. Growth hacks are the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. There's consistency, there's follow through, there's understanding goals, there's understanding touch points, there's understanding consumer behavior, there's understanding company journey, there's understanding what the modern online shopping experience should be like. And then there's everything else that goes into this and all these different touch points. And I probably miss touch points. There's probably other touch points here, post purchase surveys and post purchase outreach and everything else. Those are all other touch points. However, for the purpose of this course, every single one of these things happens before purchase. And for us, the purpose of us to drive things forward is around getting a conversion rate as high as possible, because a conversion rate that's as high as possible equates to product in hand. And product in hand equates to a perceived value from use of said product and the ability to share that message out with other people. If you do not get product in hand, you do not get people talking about your product. You do not get use of product. And if you don't get use of product, you don't get to perceive value of product, which means no one talks about your product. Again, this is built for everyone, whether you're small or large or growing or everyone in between. We've used these same strategies across companies that do 100 million a year, as people that do 2 million a year, as people that do a couple thousand a year. It does not matter. These are core baseline fundamentals for e-commerce that can be applied to any e-commerce site and should be applied to any e-commerce site. But from what we looked at today, looking at different product pages and everything else, there's a lot of companies out there that are lazy and have a lot of room to go. So whether you're a brand, an agency, a freelancer, anyone else in between, just getting into e-commerce, thinking about e-commerce, it doesn't matter. These fundamental checklist guidelines are going to help you become a better marketer, a better brand, a better company, and increase your conversion rate and profit margin. Thanks for joining me on this journey. It's been a pleasure. And as always, feel free to reach out with any questions.